Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joe and Reese and Biggie Boo Shop. Pickle time is happening.
We started.
Oh,
Joe, how have you been?
So, I had my first period today. Oh, that was supposed to be playing in the background.
Oh, hold on.
So, I got my period today. And what was weird about it was I'm a dude. So what I realized was it was just a hemorrhoid.
Hey, that's the same. What I realized was it was coming out of my butt.
What I realized was it wasn't coming out of my butt. I had a large laceration in my gooch.
My Aunt Flo just kept visiting.
But it was my uncle. It was my Uncle Felix.
Uncle Felix.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pickle Boot Shop. This is the first podcast we've had since our big fight.
Our big fight. It was
Reese and I think, got in a big fight this last week.
No, Joe.
And here's the thing. Reese he was okay in his reasons for having the fight because he drug all his stuff on his camping trip, all his podcasting equipment with him, and I wasn't able to podcast.
I wanted to do it for the fans. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
The kids.
And and I wasn't able to. So he had drug all his stuff there, and then it started a big, I don't want to say debate, but like a discussion. I don't think anybody's feelings were hurt. I kept saying my feelings weren't hurt. I don't know if yours were.
No.
Or it was just, you were just angry, but anger is a perfectly normal emotion. I don't get offended by that.
Angry. I was hurt, Joe.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. So since our conversation, since our texting, I think something that's going to make my life easier is I am now at Heidi's. Other than like the occasional blip on the radar, I am out here all the time.
Yeah.
So
that's
my equipment
amazing.
stays out here. Monday nights, I'm out here, whereas, like I tried to explain to you before, every other week it was like Monday or it was Tuesday, and I had my kids. And if I have my kids, I don't just want to rush home from work, scarf down dinner, say hey to them, and then record, and then while they go to bed, like all that stuff. So it's finally now where they have like their lives going on. They can kind of come over here when they need to. So things have kind of changed in the last few weeks, which I think will help our podcast and help make you less mad at.
Yeah, except I wasn't. This is just
and
love.
You'll stop burning with the suns of a million universes, gnashing your teeth,
the fires
sticking hat pins in your testicles. Have you ever seen that famous X-ray of Albert Fish?
No. Who's Albert Fish?
So there was a serial killer named Albert Fish in Chicago back in the day. It was like, I want to say like the 1920s or 1930s. Pretty graphic, pretty horrible. If you look up Albert Fish and do like a Wikipedia or something like that,
okay,
it's pretty nasty. Like he killed kids and stuff, and it was pretty bad.
Sheesh.
But so to like stop his urges, I guess nowadays you would call it cutting. So like, people cut themselves to kind of release that. Well, he would take pins. He would take sewing pins that are like 3 inches long, and he would stick them into his nutsack.
Oh, no.
And so when he died, they x-rayed him, and there, you can look it up on Google. You can Google it. there's an x-ray of his testicles and there's 80 pins in it.
Did he
Like-
go through the nuts or just the sack? Because we've all done that.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. That I'm
Oof.
not sure. It's just they were all, I don't know how he could have missed his testicles because his nuts look like a pin cushion.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't take them out. He'd left them in.
It didn't help, though. It didn't. Well, maybe.
No, he
maybe
still
he had
killed
more
people.
urges. And that
Yeah.
just abated it.
Maybe his kill count would have been, triple that. But yeah, it's crazy. So you got to look up Albert Fish. Listeners, if you're not big on serial killer stuff, this is definitely one you don't want to get into the weeds on, because he was a horrible fella.
Yeah.
Horrible fella. He
That
would write
doesn't
letters.
sound nice.
He would write letters to the parents of the kids that he killed and like detail stuff. It was crazy. He was crazy.
no.
He was a real bad guy. Albert Fish.
Albert Fish. Kids,
Yup.
go ahead and
Yeah.
check that out. While we're on the
And there
subject,
used to be. Oh yeah, go on.
you're trying to sell your comics. I was just trying
Yeah.
to keep it flaunt.
I'm trying. I'm trying to. I hopefully have a lead of someone who's going to buy a lot of them.
What?
And-
What are you doing? What? Joe.
I know. Here's the thing with my comics.
Yeah.
Is when I had like bachelor pad or when I was just kind of like, by myself, I had room and I didn't mind having my comics and like I could put them out or I could show them off or I could do whatever. That was the plan moving forward. Well, now that I'm with Heidi and I moved in with her and I'm out here, she doesn't have like the space here nor the room to display a comic book collection.
Couldn't you just box it up, put it in the basement?
Well, that's what I have. So now I just have all these comics, like graded comics.
Why you gotta sell them, Joe?
Well, because here's what I'm thinking. In my brain, I'm not selling the whole collection. Let me go back. So my collection is roughly worth $24,000, give or take. I want to sell about 8,000 of my collection.
Wow.
So kind of the comics that I bought knowing that I would flip, or comics that I'm not big on.
Okay.
I want to sell those. So I'm not looking at selling all of them. However, if somebody wanted to buy them, I would definitely think about selling them, just because I think it's a tragedy to just go into a closet.
Joe, tell me you're not getting rid of your Wonder Man collection, your limited series of Wonder Man.
No, that
Good.
one's staying.
Save that one.
And Speedball.
You know what I
Speedball's
love
staying.
about Wonder Man is he's got a full like upper suit. He's got sweet like some Ray-Bans on or whatever. They're kind of like Snake
Yeah.
Eyes goggles, but then he's wearing
Yeah.
a red Speedo.
Yeah.
He's-
Yeah. Like his upper body is fully protected. His
Yeah.
eyes, on a sunny day, he's good. And then his legs are just, he's like a swimmer.
Yeah. What was he? What did he do? He's just strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first characters where they were like, we have Wonder Woman, and I bet there's a bunch of dudes out there that are all jealous. So let's make Wonder Man.
Why do the women get a comic book character? When will
Yeah.
we get our turn?
This crappy character that we thought would just be in a couple of issues really took off. And now
Yeah.
I just got something that popped up here on Zencaster. It says, try out experimental AI features.
Jeez.
Get help writing, organizing tabs, and creating custom themes.
I wonder if it could help us be funnier. Have
I
you
just
thought
clicked,
about
no
that?
thanks. I said, no thanks. We're funny enough, jerk.
Right.
It was either AI or it said Al. Maybe it's just a guy named Al. Like, hey, I can help you write.
Oh, it's that AI. It's Al. A-L.
Yeah. Yeah, just Al.
It
Al Maricino.
It is?
Alan Philip Maricino.
Al from the Insiders?
Yeah, that's Al Brown.
Oh, that's Al Brown. I thought he changed
Al
it.
Brown.
He went back to his maiden name.
No.
No.
Al Brown is a huge like real estate investor in our area or something.
Well,
I haven't seen or talked to Al in a while.
He's keeping his married name though. Brown.
Yeah, he's keeping it real.
Well, Maricino probably doesn't look so good on a business card or a real estate placard. You want to feel like you're an Anglo-Saxon, you know?
Well, but what about this? If your last name was Maricino, what happens if your business card was scratch and sniff and it was Cherry?
Oh. Al, if you're listening, right now you're doing your people a disservice, which I guess are the people that make cherries. And you need to get on board.
When you think of the name Al, who's the first person you think of?
Al Brown.
Oh, I think Al Bundy.
Oh, that was my second person, but first person was Al Brown.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was like, Al, like the guy in the Insiders? That's what I tell people when they're like, hey, I'm Al. I'm like the guy in the Insiders?
Like the trumpet player. And they're like, what?
It's a
The
flugelhorn?
trumpet player.
Sometimes he played a flugelhorn? Did he play a flugelhorn?
I would love for you to do that AI with my with my vocals and hear how awful I sing.
Well, that's why I'm not downloading that part of mine, because I'm like, ooh, how did that pass? I sang that line for 2 hours, and it still is awful. Yeah.
There are some songs, man, that I listen to that I'm just, like, how did that not get, like, it's flat, like, and I'm just like, how did that pass muster?
How did that pass mustard? That's what I'm wondering.
Mustard gas.
Yeah. Is it?
Ugh.
Has it ever? Have you guys ever had mustard?
Have you ever heard the rain pouring down while you're sleeping in a van? Have you ever heard the rain? I just made that up.
Joe. Right now.
Put that in your Chat GPT.
Jeez. Guys, so they could probably build an AI off of just you coming up with lyrics. You know, people
should.
pay for that. Why don't we just create like a fake site where people are like, write a song for me, and we'll be like, you know, have you ever heard the rain? Or I'll come up with good song titles like Pass the Mustard.
Yeah.
And it'll be about trying to be cool around Mustard Plug.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Dude.
Pass the mustard and screw your ketchup.
Every time I'm around Mustard Plug guys, I feel like an idiot. Can I just put that out there? I'm like,
yeah, why is that?
Well, first of all, the first time I met him, who's the singer? Is it Colin? Colin's the other guy. Colin's a guitar player.
Yeah. The lead singer is, oh man.
Well, I told,
let me look it up here.
We got to look it up. There's embarrassing if they're listening, which they may be. I've right now just put my foot in my mouth in front of them on this podcast. But the guy who is the singer, who's not Colin, I told Dave, there you go. Dave was my second guess.
Yeah.
First, I was like, is it
Dave Kirchgessner?
Paul Bunyan Jr.?
Kirchgessner.
Dave, he goes by Kirchgessner. It's easier to say than Dave.
It rolls off the tongue more than just Dave.
It totally
Kirchgessner.
Yeah, you know, the first time you see a band and you're all starstruck, you're like, oh my gosh, my favorite song is this. Well, my favorite song, still my favorite Mustard song, is not Beer, it's Mr. Smiley. And I told him, and he's like, yeah, thanks, that's our guitar player song. And the guitar player sings it and wrote it. And Dave Kirchgessner, he just hangs out in the back, which, you know, I don't know if this happens to everybody who's the lead singer of a ska band, but it happens to me quite a lot where they're like, why don't you go rest for this one, old man? and then you
Yeah.
have to go sit. You don't have like you can't go backstage because something might happen. You got to come back out or something.
I feel like we used to have a instrumental called Compadre. And same thing. I used to feel like they'd be like Compadre, and we'd go through it, and I'd just kind of stand on stage, and we'd play a couple more songs. They'd be like Compadre, and I was like, wait, but we already played it. And they're like, no, you just go backstage, just go.
Just get
And then like I'd
outta
come
here.
back out, and they're like, we're gonna play Compadre again. The
They
people
kept doing
really
it?
seem to.
They liked.
Dude, you want to hear something that I thought was hilarious?
Yes, I do.
It makes me love the Ramones even more. So I've never listened to Black Sabbath, never been a Black Sabbath fan.
Okay.
I don't know their stuff. Like I know
What?
Ozzy Osbourne sang for him, but I don't really know.
Crazy Train.
I know. Well, wasn't Crazy Train? That's just Ozzy. That's
Is
not
it?
Black Sabbath.
War
Yeah.
Pigs.
War Pigs, Black Sabbath, Sweet Leaf. So anyway, I really didn't know anything about Black Sabbath. I was listening to the Mark Maron podcast, and he had Geezer Butler, the bass player from Black Sabbath, on.
Okay.
Great listen, great interview. Found out Geezer Butler just recently did an autobiography. So yesterday I'm at work, and my phone makes a weird noise that I hadn't heard it make before. And I look, and it's like, you've earned a credit on Audible. I was like, what? So I got like a free credit on Audible, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get Geezer Butler's like his audio book. So I've been listening to that.
It was your last brain cell. Like, I'm not gonna. Don't waste me on reading. Please,
Yeah.
please save me by listening to this book.
Right. But listen to how it just makes me love the Ramones even more. So Sabbath played with the Ramones in New York or somewhere. They were touring with them. They did a couple of dates. They were somewhere in the United States, and the Sabbath fans, since the Ramones opened for them, Sabbath fans were just booing them. So after they played like a certain song, let's say Bonzo Goes to Blitzburg.
Bonzo Goes to Blitzburg
start-
is one of my favorite Ramones.
Oh, it is my favorite. Or Pittsburgh, isn't it Pittsburgh something? So they start booing them. So the Ramones finish the song, and people are like, you suck. That song sucks. So the Ramones play it again as if they hadn't played it. They go through the same thing. People boo, boo. They get done playing. They're like, hey, thanks for coming out. They play it again. So the Black Sabbath fans are livid at this point. Like, they are chucking stuff. They're throwing beer bottles. They're doing all that stuff. Ramones are like, okay. We get it. They kick into it again.
Oh my gosh.
They played the song 4 or 5 more times and then ended their set and left. And then they told Black Sabbath, they're like, we're done. Like, I don't think your fans are going to like us. So they pulled out of the tour.
Oh my Lord.
But I thought that was hilarious that they just played this song that enraged the Sabbath fans. They just played it 5 times in a row.
Can you imagine the poor souls that paid to see the Ramones? They're like, oh man, my favorite band is playing with this metal band. I don't know if they're going to accept me. I hope they play this song. And they're like, oh, no, they're playing Blitzkrieg Bop again. There it is again.
Wow. Oh, and again.
All right.
Oh,
We're doing it
It
again.
looks like these guys drove them off the stage. Oh, no, they're playing Blitzkrieg Bop.
Still going. Okay. All right.
I thought that was freaking
that's amazing.
fantastic. Fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I had never... What? Go on.
No, you go. I was gonna read your notes and move along. I was gonna be like, so Joe, what do you think about this? But you talk about what you're gonna talk about, because what I was gonna talk about was a poor segue.
Well, just to finish up, so the Black Sabbath, like, listening to it, it's crazy, like, hearing all the stories, like, I didn't know that, like, they were ripped off, like, they didn't make any money.
Really?
They made like nothing for their first, I want to say 8 albums. Like they made millions and millions. They went platinum, and like their management like took all their money. And it was like one of those things where everybody else saw that like the management was just robbing them blind.
Yeah.
And then everybody was just robbing them blind.
They were like,
And so,
DLB is not doing good for you guys.
yes. Yes.
That
exactly.
guy, Dave Bonson is not helping you guys out. I don't know.
Not at all. But like these guys, they had like a mobster, like a legit mafia mobster as their
management?
manager.
Oh.
Yeah. And the
Hey, it
dude
worked
just
for Sinatra.
yeah. Well, like this guy just like robbed them blind. So they said like every week or something like that, or once a month, something, they would get a check for 1,000 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And then
To
if they
distribute
wanted
amongst themselves or each?
each guy, like
Each
month,
guy-
got like $1,000 a month.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what
so
the
then-
pound to dollar exchange was, but like now it's like $1.58 per pound.
Yeah.
It was
something like
for
that.
a while, like $5 per pound. That wouldn't be
Yes.
too bad in the 70s.
Yeah. But I don't think it was that bad.
But they were doing better than that. This is what you're saying. They could have bought 18 Cadillacs, and instead they only got a Yugo.
Yeah. And then like if one guy was like, hey, can I have some money to like buy a new car? He would get the money to buy a new car. And then like if Geezer Butler was like, hey, I want to buy a new car. They were like, you can't, because Ozzy bought a car. Oh. And they were like, what? And then Geezer was like, hey, I want to buy a house for my parents. They're like, you can't, because Tony, like the guitar player, he bought a house for his parents. So you got to wait. And there was just all this money. So
And
not
none
only
of them
did they
were
not,
like, hey, can I see the contract? Or they were just terrified
and
of
every
the guy.
time they asked, like they'd be told, something stupid, and all they cared about was making music and like getting high.
Lord.
So they like never fought it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like they were being pushed out of the scene, like Van Halen was coming on scene, and some of the 80s bands like Boston, I think in this autobiography, they said Boston had just released like More Than a Feeling. So they were like on their way out. And that's when they're like, man, we're on our way out and we have no money to show for it.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy, but they had nothing. And then they started like recording like their 8th album or something.
Uh-huh.
And a lawyer came to him and was like, hey, you owe so much money in taxes on money that they never got.
Oh, wow.
So they had to pay the taxes in England on the millions that they made when they didn't see those millions.
Couldn't they have sued them for that money?
They did. They
And used
tried,
that?
and they did. They tried. They had to take $1 million, like $1 million up front from like Warner to pay for the lawsuit. And then they did get out from like that contract and everything and paid everything off and whatnot. But then they owed $1 million to Warner at a time when their albums weren't really selling.
Right.
So they were like so far behind the 8 ball.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it was crazy. So just listening to it, I was like, holy smoke.
So really the only one that did well was Ozzy, and it's because he broke away. And
I think once they broke free, they started like they're not suffering anymore. And from what I gather, I haven't really gotten into it yet. But then, like when Ozzy left, and who was it? Dio.
was Ronnie James Dio in Black Sabbath? You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So then he took over for Ozzy, and then I think they did well. Like they
Okay.
didn't do like they did when they first came out, but they still like I think they put out albums until like 2000 or something like that. I know they put out an album in like 2013, and I think I saw on iTunes today they put something out, or something is coming out in 2024. So I mean, they're not hurting. I think their finances and in the book, he mentioned that like once the resurgence of like metal came back and like people were buying their albums and their CDs, again, like the next generation, they made their money. Like they're not struggling. But at the beginning, they had nothing.
Jeez.
They were selling so much, and they were like on the cover of Rolling Stone and stuff, and nothing. Like they had nothing in their bank.
Bro.
But it was interesting. Interesting
sucks.
story. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool though.
But let's go back. Let's go back to what's other than our fight that we had, where then we started sending each other like butthole pictures.
I just
telling
wanted
each
to
other,
check mine
like-
out. Can you
yeah,
see
like
this? Does this look infected?
kiss my butt. And
Oh,
then,
that
like,
was it.
You know. Yeah.
I feel like mine was more like, does this look infected?
Oh, yeah. That
I was
that
like,
can
hey,
do
does
that too.
my butt look broken to you? It's got a crack in it.
It's got a big crack in it, and it leaks.
Is this supposed to have a hole in it? So,
Oof.
no, man. Hey, also, I didn't just go to Colorado on a camping trip. We had several things.
Yeah. So tell us about it.
So I promised my dad. Did we talk about the 14ers? Talk
Yep.
about this?
And you're gonna hike with them.
Yeah, so I went with my dad's ashes. I checked them. Like, I didn't check my dad. I put him on my carry-on bag, my backpack, and then we flew Frontier, which is a mistake always. So they, they're always like, how big is your bag? That's not a backpack. That's a thing. And they make you put it in the thing. They didn't do that, but I did get insecurity. I told the guy, I was like, my dad's ashes are in this backpack. Like, I don't want to open it. And he was like, super cool. He was like, yeah, man, I got you. And then, so we went through, and then they swabbed it. They do the swab. He's like, I'm not going to open it. You're watching me, right, man? I'm not opening it. And then they have to put the juice on this little thing, and then they touch the thing and juice comes out, or I don't know. But it made a heart on the piece of paper. And he was like, oh, man, did you see that? It made a heart. He was such a sweet guy. And I was like,
Really?
yeah, thank you, man.
And then the next like Pakistani guy that walked through, they were like, get out, like chuck the guy on the ground and like,
it made an inverted pentagram. Get out of here.
like, this guy's got to have something on it.
No. But I mean, so it was a bit rough, but like it was me, both kids, Kara, and Kara's daughter, Michelle.
Michelle, yes.
Yeah. Stayed in a hotel. Then we drove, got our car, which was like it was supposed to be a Jeep, like a real Jeep, like a Wrangler. Cause it's supposed to be a Jeep trail. It was gnarly, but they gave us what is that? Cherokee, Jeep Cherokee. It was like a Grand Cherokee. It was nice inside, but it was not meant to go on this road. I only scraped the bottom of it once.
Well, that's all right.
So
That's what skid plates are for.
yeah, exactly. No, so we stayed in like an Airbnb in Carbondale, Colorado. So it's like a bedroom community of Aspen. It's like where the people who work for the rich people live, but it's beautiful. It overlooks like Capitol Peak, this mountain that my dad and I climbed like 5 times. So epic. So cool. The only thing that sucked about this place was they had a skate pool, like a pool that they built for skating, because who builds a pool in some place
To swim
where
in.
well, not there. You wouldn't build an outside pool in that part of Colorado
Antarctica. Yeah.
because it's going to snow 7 feet in the winter.
Yeah.
Like your pool's going to get ruined. But they had a skate pool. They had a bunch of pads and helmets and stuff, but no skateboards. So my kids are like, I want to go in it. I was like, well, you can run around in it. It wasn't enough. But it was still very, very nice. It was very cool. And then we drove up. We got to the place, and you go up in this Jeep trail. We went to the very last campsite, and the kids were like screaming. They were terrified because it was super bumpy. But it's like stuff that I grew up with. You know, like my dad would take his 2-wheel drive Mazda up this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, this is fine, kids. Just, if it bothers you, just read a book. Just close your eyes.
Yeah.
Get out and
don't
walk.
feel the bumps.
Yeah, no,
Just
you
don't
could
feel
probably
it.
walk faster than I was driving. So, but we got up there and camped, and it was super beautiful, just awesome. And then, on this mountain, this is why I picked it for the kids, because there is like this Jeep trail goes all the way up to this old gold mine, and then you can park, and then you can camp, you can camp, but you can climb from there, and it's supposed to be like 2 miles up, 2 miles down. And I was like, I think we can handle this. We'll just take a lot of breaks because of the altitude. In my head, I'm being very optimistic because I'm like, it's the beginning of June and there's probably going to be snow. But let's see, maybe global warming has happened. So we get up, we start hiking, and real quick, we were in snow.
You realize global warming's a farce.
It's a
'cause
farce.
There's 3 feet of
so
snow.
much. Dude, there was so much
You're
snow.
like, Trump was right.
And it's all melting. So it's like you could get up on the middle of it and it would hold you up. But once you got to the edges, it was starting to melt. And so you'd fall through the snow. Everybody had wet feet. We kept going because it was kind of fun and it was cool. And then you hit a long space with no snow, like it had melted. And then we just hit this space where it was like a good quarter of a mile just walking in snow, falling through. There's like a river going underneath it. So I'm like, this is not good. So we go around and get up, and the kids are like done, you know, like they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, well, I have to at least try, because if I go back now, I'm going to have to come back. So I need to see it. Like, I want to try and see the top. So I went about 50 yards past where the kids went. So they quit, and they quit at a very good spot. And I wasn't like, I'm trying not to be a bad dad about this. I'm like, the whole way, I'm just like, they want to quit, but I'm like, come on, guys, you can keep coming. Giving a lot of speeches, and they kept coming, and then they felt really tough. And all 3 kids, you know, like they had given up each individually at least 5 times. But we talked them out of it. And then your speech is like, man, you quit 3 times back there, and look how far you made it. You're doing great. Come on. So it was really good for them. But when they finally were just like done, there was about 50 yards. And then the Jeep trail was covered with snow about this. It was like that steep. And then right here, you could see the edge of the trail. So I'm like, okay, I can walk on that. So I did, and then there started being patches where there was no road. So first one I went across, I was sliding a lot. And I'm like, I'm breaking my dad's rules. Like, my dad would be like, don't go in the snow, because he fell going in the snow. And I don't know if I've told you this story about him falling like 2,000 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Sliding.
No,
He had to
I've
get
heard about the
helicoptered out.
motorcycle.
Oh, this is
motorcycle
this is for
injury.
another podcast. Good Mike Roper story. But like, he had this rule of no snow because he was terrified of it because of that. So I went across that patch. I was like, that was pretty scary. I'm not going to do this unless I can come up with a plan. And mine had a trimway, apparently. I don't know what they hauled in it, people or probably ore. But there was like an outpost from it. Now, this thing is from the 1880s, like 1870s. But I went up to it and I found like it's fallen apart. What was holding together this part of the tramway. And there was like 2 railroad spikes about a foot long that I pulled out of this decaying wood. And I'm like, this might work. And so I was using them as ice axes, and then just like kicking my feet in, and I kept going across these little patches. They kept getting more and more. And I finally got to this point where I'm like, I'm so far along that I have to finish at least the road to get to where you can see the top. because it's just as much work going back. So I kept going, and at about 4 o'clock, and so you're supposed to summit by noon, they say, because the weather comes in after noon. So it's going to snow or it's going to rain. And there's I got a couple of raindrops, but it wasn't like thunder or lightning or anything.
Okay.
So I finally get to almost to where the parking lot is for that mine where people drive up to and then they hike. And this is, depending on how hardcore you are of a climber, you'd be like, this is cheating. You have to hike all the way up from the bottom. You can't start at this. Well, we did just because of the snow, like you couldn't drive. So I get to this part and then I had to it was steeper than I should have been on. So I go up, I'm climbing vertically with these Ice Axe things. And I get to where it gets flat. And then I start walking on it and I fell in up to my armpits, just went joom. And beneath me was flowing water. So I was like, bro, if I had kept going, I would got sucked under this, and it's under 6 feet of snow. There's no way I could have gone up. I just drowned down there.
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
fresh water, it's just snow melt. So it's barely above 32 degrees. So yes, you can have that. Okay, so I scared myself at that point. And I'm like, okay, this is bad. Now I looked up, I could see the top. And on the top, the ridge where you're supposed to go, it was just all these cornices of snow. So the cornice looks just like Donald Trump's hair. It's snow is
beautiful,
beautifully flowing over, beautiful coif.
Sparse. Yeah, just a sparse coif.
Yeah.
So it was orange snow?
Orange snow. No. It looks like it's hanging over. And as a skier or a snowboarder, you try and stay away from those things because it's going to be an avalanche.
Okay.
So anywhere you see that growing up in Colorado, you're don't fuck around over there because it's going to fall. And what I would have had to do is climb up, use the ice axes to get in between places, and then go across those things, which could have gone either way. And I was like, yeah, I'll die. I can't.
Yeah.
And so then I'm thinking, okay, well, cool. I know how steep this is. I'm just going to slide down on my butt and walk out on this flat part. So I did that for about 2 hours. But the first thing I noticed when I got down there was I could hear water running under me. So I was always on top of these little streams, just listening, you're going to die, dude.
Oh,
so I finally got back to the camp at 6, and then we camped. And then the next day we went to Denver and we had fun, and 5 Iron played a show. That's all.
Jeez. That's nuts.
So I have to go back, and I will tell you on another podcast my plan to go back because it's full on Steve McQueen shit.
Oh, are you taking Shay?
No, because I'm not spreading my dad's ashes. She can go if she wants, but I don't think she wants to. She has no interest in climbing.
Okay.
But me, I promised my dad I would climb those last 3 with his ashes. I promised him 20-something years ago, hey, Dad, if you can't make them all, I'll do it with your ashes. And that was a funny joke, but now I'm doing it.
You need to document it. You just make a little documentary just for yourself. Or,
maybe.
Throw it on YouTube. Just something.
Yeah.
I'm sure your friends and family and everyone like me, I would love to see documentary style, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
The pre-planning and then actually doing it. That would be cool.
Well, that was the hairiest part. I don't know if the next part is going to be crazy. The next part may be crazy if I do it.
No,
It involves a motorcycle.
I don't want to go off in a completely different way, but this is where my brain went when you said that you were in a Jeep. When you passed people in the Jeep and they have Jeeps, did you wave?
Oh man, I know about this. Like out here, people do it.
Hate that.
You hate it.
I hate like the Jeep Wrangler community that like we wave. Everybody waves to each other. And then it's like, then the Harley community started doing it. And then and then it's like, oh, if I have a Kia and you have a Kia, we wave to each other. So then what did Jeep do? Jeep goes to the next level. And they've started this thing with ducks. Have you seen this?
Yep. You put them all over your dashboard.
Dashboards
give each other
are
ducks.
just covered in ducks.
You get ducked.
And it's like, I think I'm correct when I say they're like Funko Pops. Like they'll do different kinds of ducks. Like there'll be a cop duck or Terminator duck or something like that. So it drives me batty. I see people and they got like a real nice Jeep and then the entire dashboard is just full of, it looks like just trinkets and nonsense.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like we should do this with troll dolls. We need to figure this out with whatever vehicle.
I did see a funny meme the other day. All it said was old people Funko Pops. And it was a picture of all those, remember all those like little angel figurines with like the big heads?
Yeah.
What were those called? Precious Moments.
Precious Moments.
It said Precious Moments are old people Funko Pops. And it was hysterical. Because looking at them, you're like, totally. Like they have big heads, little bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny.
So no one waved at us. This is the funny thing. Like here, where I live in Virginia, people are like holding their steering wheel and they do this. Like one finger. And you acknowledge you're passing somebody. It's like a wave.
Oh.
You know, and like Harley guys they'll do like two fingers and they do it down like peace. Yeah, no, that's frowned upon. But when we were in Colorado, I would like wave at people were passing out in the middle of nowhere, like driving to Carbondale. Nobody was waving. And so I just kept becoming more and more lively and like waving as like smiling and like
maniacal waving.
Yes, just maniacally waving at these people. And not a single person, Colorado, waved back at me.
Because you know what they wanted to say?
Get out of my yard and get in my chicken. I think you're right, Joe.
Some people say our state is grand and I don't wave back. When people drive by me, I stay stoic forever.
Let's try and smoke, let's crack.
Yeah.
With that, we need to say good night to you all. Freebies.
Good night. Beat it.
Beat it, you deadbeats.
Beat it. Go on.
We're about to do the Patreon, and the Patreon, we talk about real stuff, and we have amazing guests, and we do so much more.
And there's full frontal nudity.
Not just the back nudity that you're used to.
Yeah, full frontal. There's gambling. We do gambling odds. What else do we do?
I give out winning lottery numbers.
Yep.
Just for example, hold on, guys. I got one coming to me. 31.
Oh.
But that's all you get. You got to go to the Patreon to hear.
Yep. And we do all that stuff. We disobey our parents. You know?
I just did. I went across the snow. But I would do it more in Patreon.
So you guys, that's what you're missing on the Patreon. So meet us over there, freebies. We'll see you. Bye.
Piece of pizza.
Save for the squids. Pickle time.
Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands.
1996.